on Schreiber. Sidearm whip, scores!
Now in front, Fidel scores! Hands off for Rabil, switches hands and scores!
Kylie O'Miller showing off those shifty skills.
Right off the bat, there's Lyle Thompson!
Welcome to Pro Lacrosse Talk, the voice of Pro Lacrosse. I'm Hutton, he's Adam. Together we're bringing you interviews with your favorite players and coaches, as well as news from all 4 professional lacrosse leagues. Welcome to another episode of Pro Lacrosse Talk. I'm Hutton, today joining you guys off the unfortunate news that the PLL has decided to postpone its 2020 season. Right now they do not have a new start date, but they will not be starting their season on May 29th as originally planned. This news came out early on Friday. The decision was made, like many of these other leagues, because health officials still don't think it'd be safe to play in May. Unfortunately, this is the decision we did expect. We kind of saw the writing on the wall when the NLL canceled its regular season and the MLL delayed their season. Hopefully we'll get to see the PLL take the field this season. They do still have plans to play. This is just a postponement. They have also delayed the college draft that was originally scheduled for April 21st. That will now take place mid-May. It will be done virtually, but it will still air on NBC Sports. They also said that the number of rounds may change. Right now it's set at 4. We put out an article in last episode talked about who has which pick. But just because there's so much uncertainty with a lot of these college players, whether they're returning for their 5th year or not, they are going to kind of look at it and maybe flex the rounds from 4 to maybe less if need be. Because right now we only know Grant Ament, Michael Kraus, and recently Andrew Pettit came out and said that they are planning on not taking that 5th year. So those are the only ones that are really eligible right now that we know of. It could be a Michael Sowers, a Jeff Teat situation too, where they decide they're going to go pro and graduate. We don't know. Michael Sowers recently entered the transfer portal, so his situation is still very fluid. He could, decide to stay at Princeton, graduate, go pro, or he could decide to transfer somewhere else. Again, there's so much going on that we just don't know yet. But with that, we thought we would bring you some sound from Michael Rabil. Mike Rabil and Paul Rabil's Instagram Live that they did on the PLL account. They kind of give some more insight into their decision to delay the season, as well as what they're kind of planning in the event that they are able to play a season, whether it be a full season or a abridged version. And they even mentioned some talks about doing a different variation of a season in the event that they can't do the full season. So with that, we'll take a listen to what they had to say.
I think it's important to emphasize that language, is that this is not a canceled season. This is a delayed start. But go ahead, Mike.
We're going to postpone the season until further notice, and we'll have an update beginning of May. So I feel like I said it 100 times, but it's the most important thing is the health and safety of our players and our fans and our colleagues that travel every weekend. And so we want to make the best decision that ensures that. And, we hope that at the beginning of May, we'll have that codified for everyone, and we'll be able to roll out what our season looks like for everyone. But, we didn't want to continue down the path of saying that, hey, May 29th and 30th of July is when we're starting. We want to sort of recoil, make the best decision, and then announce it beginning of May.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, especially in sports, we were hoping to, and we have been patient up to this point in making an announcement because there's so much information we're getting every hour. But when it comes to putting on your final product, and that being your first game or your last game of the regular season, is that players need to be tuned up. They need to have their books or their flights booked for training camp. We need to have our production and NBC on set ready to fire, and like our ops team are already walking venues. So there's not a reality where a sports league can wait until May 28th before our 29th game. And I think that's different than even retail stores deciding to open up at the last minute or not. There's a lot of external parties that we've been in communication with daily, and NBC and sponsors are one of them. And both of them are in touch with us daily around these other scenarios, so that when we are in market, we have a really awesome product that I think everyone has come to love and expect out of us. So kind of walk us through those scenarios that we've been kicking around, Mike.
Yeah. So, we're basically trying to figure out, as you said, there's a lot of planning that goes into the world of sport and putting on these events, and also a lot of logistics that need to be ironed out. So, we're looking at, three categories, as I mentioned on my State of the League, if people saw that. But the first one is a late start, full season. Second one is a a late start partial season. And then the third one is sort of a creative idea that we're incubating right now that we'll come back to everyone with, that is something that they've been working on with a lot of different health officials, and it could be very interesting and highly produced for TV. So
yeah,
I'll leave it with that.
Yeah. And I think in either of those scenarios, I've been asked a few times around the difference between our tour-based model and a traditional city-based model, and where we have more flexibility right now is that all of our teams move together from week to week. So not only is the health and safety and the right parameters of an arena, if you're the NBA or the NHL, or a stadium, if you're an outdoor sport like us, really important to manage and optimize for first. But second is then in a traditional home and away model, you have team A and team B playing, and then C and D playing here, and then E and F here, and then A plays E and B plays D. And if you change the first game, all the other ones have to change. And it gets really convoluted and complicated, and we feel pretty good about our ability in all those scenarios to be really agile and make sure we have a product and market. So that is a box that fortunately we don't have to worry about as much as other leagues. So
Yep.
Decision top to bottom can be kind of swift and made by our executive group.
So you just heard Mike Rabil and Paul Rabil. So that's kind of the details on the decision to postpone the season. I think, it's the right call for them to postpone the season. It's unfortunate. We really want to see some professional lacrosse played this summer, but it's the right one. It was a decision that was made with the interest of the fans and the players in mind and their health and safety. So we appreciate their leadership in this decision. We hope we do get to see the PLL take the field. But in the meantime, we'll keep you guys updated. Make sure you guys, subscribe. Keep checking out our articles on ProLacrosseTalk.com. Follow us on social media. We'll be posting any, updates to the situation. But we hope you guys enjoyed hearing from them. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we hope you tune in next time to Pro Lacrosse Talk. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Pro Lacrosse Talk podcast. Today I want to talk to you about our sponsor, Anchor. We've been using Anchor for the Pro Lacrosse Talk podcast since the very start. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place, and better yet, it's free. They allow you to easily record and edit your podcast, and once it's published, they send it out to all the major networks such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and many more. They also connect you with advertisers so you can start making money from your podcast right away. So if you're thinking about starting a podcast today, download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Today's show is being brought to you in part by Stitcher Premium. You can use Stitcher Premium to listen to shows ad-free such as Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, My Favorite Murder, Wolverine the Lost Trail, or our favorite, The Fantasy Footballers. For only $4.99 a month or $34.99 a year, you get access to Stitcher Originals, bonus episodes, and comedy albums. Better yet, if you go over to Stitcher.com/premium and use the promo code LACROSSE today, you can get 1 month free. So head on over to Stitcher, sign up, and get your free trial today.